Ivermectin is horse dewormer. The FDA has told Americans and warned Americans not to fucking take ivermectin. It has human use as well as a dewormer. But, you know, the one study that showed that ivermectin could have potential uses for COVID treatment was immediately disproven. And yet, as is the case with hydroxychloroquine early in the pandemic, it doesn't matter because once like conservative media that has a legitimate interest in, you know, taking advantage of like the skepticism that like a lot of these dumb hogs have and want to do their own personal branding project gets a hold of these like alternative cures, they pump it.
Ivermectin and ivermectin, which
some of which pump it because they might have stock ownership over it. I don't know. Some of them pump it because they just simply think this is good. This is a good way to make themselves appear different than the liberal media, because everything and anything needs to be used as a way to draw battle lines. Okay. And I've talked about this before. Everything needs to be used as a culture war battle line. Like, this is my team, and it's very different than the libtard team. That's the whole purpose of this, because there isn't that much disagreement when both sides are capitalist and also both sides do not genuinely want to change the material conditions. So you have to hyper focus on idiotic shit like this. So that's why, you know, Brett Weinstein, who probably agrees with many of the things that a Democratic or Republican presidency actually ends up doing, but with respect to, like, you know, eviction moratoriums, like that, like ending states, ending the additional unemployment compensation ahead of time exclusively so they can motivate the poors to go back to work, all that sort of stuff. Like, they oftentimes are in agreement on things like that. So they have to find other dumb things like this to, you know, draw lines on. This is known as wedge issues in American politics. So there's an uptick in Mississippi poison control calls from people who take livestock dewormer to treat COVID-19. At least 70% of the recent calls have been in regards to the ingestion of ivermectin bought at feed stores. Take a look.
Poison control reports an alarming uptick in calls from people who took a drug bought at a feed store meant to deworm livestock. And some believe it would help with COVID. But Caitlin Rust has more now on why it could possibly leave you paralyzed.
Double M, may I help you?
Komodo Hype says, leftists all genuinely feel like they're superior. We just feel sorry for you. Thanks, man. Here's the thing. You're still taking horse dewormer, you fucking idiot, when there's like an easy vaccine that you should be taking already. And you are unnecessarily putting yourself at risk. So ultimately, it doesn't matter if leftists think they're better than you or they think they're worse than you. It literally doesn't matter, okay? You can feel sorry with a fucking tube down your goddamn neck that you rely on by those same shark doctors who were lying about COVID numbers ahead of time. You know, originally they were lying, but now they're saving your fucking sorry ass.
Raina Boudreaux at Double M in Harvey says it started about a month ago.
It's been flying off the shelves, and as of right now, it's very hard for us to even get.
She put out 10 tubes of ivermectin paste for livestock just this morning.
I am completely out as of right now.
She says a woman even came in from Mississippi to get some for her farm because it's hard to get your hands on right now, even for vendors.
They're telling us that I can only get 12, maybe 24 bottles.
Mississippi's health department put out a warning because poison control reports at least 70% of the recent calls have been related to ingestion of ivermectin meant for livestock. Meanwhile, Tractor Supply is starting to display these signs in stores because of the rush. Ivermectin is approved to use for parasites, lice, and some skin conditions in humans, as well as deworming animals. But animal drugs are highly concentrated and can be highly toxic in humans.
There is a specific drug for humans, made for humans. It is a 3 milligram dose, and you get it by prescription from a pharmacy.
Because ivermectin is a powerful neural paralytic agent.
And high enough dose.
I got apple flavored, one for my horsey and one for myself, brother. We both like apples. Terrorist FDA. I want a freebase ivermectin, brother. I'll do it. I'll tell you what.
Blood-brain barrier. And what it does is that it basically can result in paralysis.
The toxicity in animals is highly variable. Some animals can't even take it, and it's so powerful it's used in one dose or over the course of just a couple days.
It really is concerning if people are taking it either daily or weekly. Depending on your body's ability to clear the drug, every time you take it, you're increasing the total amount of drug in your system, which can lead to overdose over time, if not from a single dose.
Mississippi's poison control.
Damn, they just cut his ass off, dude.
Says 85% of the callers had mild symptoms and none of them have been hospitalized. Louisiana's poison control says it's received calls from 18 people who have taken the drug. Shelley?
That's right. Call freedom, brother. Everything's going great on the very active public Ivermectin Facebook groups. Only a few people taking 10x what everyone else is taking, wondering what to do with a bottle of the injectable kind with a picture of cattle on it, begging for earnest medical advice. Literally fucking cows on the bottle. Are these the right ones? And what do we use with it? And the quantity, please. Do we drink it or do we put it on? And people who are a little on the big side, are there any dangers or side effects, please? Aw, it's kind of a cute way to say, like, you know, I'm kind of fat. Like, will I, you know, actually get severe consequences if I take this thing that's for horses? Hello, everyone. I drank 20 milliliters of ivermectin. It's not that dangerous. I'm dizzy. I can't walk straight. Thank you. Are you crazy? You can only drink 1 milliliter for every 50 kilogram of body weight. That's way too much. Can cause liver damage. 2.4 milliliters. Hello, everyone. It is now day 3 that I drank ivermectin. I still have to drink 2 times, 5 days, and then 1 in 2 weeks. Is it normal if it hurts a little muscles? My body muscles are very sore. How long after you stop using ivermectin can you get vaccinated? And can you use again after vaccination? Am senior citizen. I like the idea that there is a guy who's going, are you crazy? There's a finite amount of cow medicine that you can be using as a human, which is true. But I like that, like, you know, you're in a public Facebook group about using cow medicine. You're also crazy. You're just less crazy than the other guy, I guess, in comparison, but you're still fucking crazy. So it's kind of funny. He was like, are you crazy? Friend of the show, Donie O'Sullivan, went to Alabama. Let's see what he had to say.
At the top of the program about the FDA's decision to fully approve the Pfizer COVID vaccine and how it just might change the landscape for those people who've been, at least many of them, who've been on the fence about getting one. This came after the former president spoke at an Alabama rally over the weekend, and while he received his usual full-throated welcome, when it came to that vaccine, many who came to hear him had no support for either the vaccine or of him telling them they should get the vaccine, which he did. CNN's Donie O'Sullivan was there. He talked to his supporters about the vaccines at the time pending approval. Here's his report.
No, not getting that vaccine. No, 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 no. Them vaccines are not good, huh?
Are you vaccinated?
No, but I have a lot of hydrochloroquine and zinc at my house.
So have you got your vaccine shot?
Nope, don't want it.
No? Why?
They ain't tested it enough, from my opinion.
Yeah. The fight.
Yeah. Her opinion. It's like, what is your opinion? Are you capable of crafting 2 independent thoughts in your mind? What is your opinion? Like, yeah, when you're an anti-vaxxer, you basically are looking at that lady and going, I do not care about the accumulative, collective fucking scientific accomplishments of millions and millions of man hours, okay? That, like, professionals who have dedicated their entire lives to this, to finding, you know, technological, medical achievements like this. And I care about this person. Like, this person's opinion actually holds the same level of weight as, like, all of the other shit that I just mentioned. People unfortunately just think that, like, if they go against the grain, if they're just contrarian in general, and there's a lot of this, right? If they go against the grain, that means that they are automatically onto something.
Pfizer shot is about to get full FDA approval. Would that change your opinion on it at all?
Not until they do a whole lot more investigating in on it.
Yeah.
Nothing's
like, this is not about investigating. There is no amount of investigation that will be conducted that will allow this psycho, this hog, to finally be like, all right, that's good. I'm doing it now. So I'm new to your streams and I was wondering if I should get the vaccine. My parents say I should, but my grandparents don't think I should. My grandparents were doctors/nurses, so I don't really know what to do. First of all, I hope your grandparents got fucking vaccinated or else they're literally going to die. There's no 2 ways about it. The moment that they step foot outside and they're your grandparents and they fucking come in contact with someone with COVID, they're just dead. Okay, so you should probably stress that to them. Secondly, I don't know about your personal grandparents and their doctorate degree or, you know, them being nurses, but 98% of doctors have gotten the COVID vaccine. So I'm pretty sure doctors overall consider the COVID vaccine to be safe. So, you know, you can remember that or remind that to your grandparents. Yes, definitely get the vaccine. Okay, it's safe. And if you, God forbid, get COVID, you will be able to breeze through it in comparison to people who get the vaccine and can't, or who don't get the vaccine and can't. Okay, the overwhelming majority, if not nearly the entirety of the fucking severe cases of COVID in American hospitals at this moment are still unvaccinated people. 50% of nurses haven't gotten vaxxed. How do we convince the public to get it if nurses still haven't? Tell them the doctors trump nurses and that you know, the qualifications for being a nurse, I'm sorry, do not require the same kind of fucking scientific or they require the same kind of fucking education as for doctors. The number is also fake with respect to like nurses. It's not 50, it's 85. I don't know why people always say 50. 85% of nurses are vaccinated, dude. That's like literally a fucking lie. Dude, why are you mad? Let these dipshits die of COVID. It doesn't work that way, man. You can't. Like, I think I've talked too much about how fucking hogs, if they die, whatever. But like, as much as it's like fun to watch conservative commentators that like believe their own bullshit that urge people not to get vaccinated and then don't get vaccinated, unlike the fucking politicians and the Fox News commentators that absolutely have gotten the vaccine and booster shots and shit. They're vaccinated out the wazoo. Unlike those guys, there are a lot of dumbass conservative commentators who don't get the vaccine and then fucking die. And that's pretty funny. Like, that's funny. That's an incredibly funny situation. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck that you died. You are a disgusting human being that probably caused a lot of death and destruction in the same, you know, communities that you exist in by spreading misinformation. So yeah, if you die, I'm going to make fun of you. Remember that. You are letting the libs own you when you fucking die. Yeah, I think we've talked about it too much now. Myself and other chatters are losing friends and family that we care about the COVID because they fell for the propaganda. Yeah, these people that are fucking dying of COVID and refusing to get the vaccine are still victims, okay? If they themselves are not like the influencer famous people that are like spreading this fucking propaganda willingly, then they're victims of misinformation. So you have to remember that. So yes, of course I believe that like everyday people, no matter how hog-like they are, should not fucking die. That's not a good thing.
Going in me until then.
Right. Do you think that would take a long time?
About 10 years or so.
I don't trust the government. I don't trust CDC. I don't trust none of them.
What is it about the vaccine?
Because I've watched Dr. T. Penny, and she's done a lot of research on it.
Dr. Sherry Tenpenny is a discredited conspiracy theorist who pushes dangerous misinformation about vaccines.
I'm sure you've seen the pictures all over the internet of people who've had these shots and now they're magnetized. They can put a key on their forehead, it sticks. They can put spoons and forks all over them and they can stick.
These are like also so laughably easy to disprove. That's another like incredibly funny part of this process is like the things that they're posting, the things that they're saying are so easily dismissed and so easily disproved. So it's additionally fucking hilarious that like, you know, that is what's getting people to believe their bullshit.
Those and other unhinged false claims landed Tenpenny on a list known as the Disinformation Dozen, super spreaders of COVID misinformation.
These 12 people are out there giving misinformation. Anyone listening to it is getting hurt by it. It's killing people. It's bad information.
But Tenpenny and others in the Disinformation Dozen are finding appeal among some Trump supporters.
My own doctor tried to get me to get the shot, and I told him to go watch Dr. T. Penny.
So you trust this woman on the internet more than your own doctor?
I do.
To listen to the internet or to listen to, rather than the professionals, the scientists, the CDC, the FDA, if you look at the history of vaccine, it's been, again, the greatest gift we've ever been given. People today wouldn't be at any of these events. They would either have polio, they would have smallpox, they would have many other diseases. Vaccines have saved us.
Trump came here to Alabama Saturday.
Unfortunately, if you ask me. Sometimes I think to myself, oh, it's wonderful, you know, medical achievements have allowed human beings to greatly extend their average life expectancy. And then other times I'm like, maybe it's not so good, you know? Maybe we should just like let the fucking plague take us all out. God damn, dude. In my most doomer moments, that's how I feel sometimes. What do the people that keep spreading misinformation get out of this? I'm guessing money. So there's a couple different reasons. Think about it this way. What do the people that are like socialists got a fucking $2.7 million house, Omega lol, he's so fake, get out of like trying to extend the controversy multiple days when there's no controversy there at all? Clout. Okay? It's the exact same attitude for a lot of these other like micro influencers that want to take advantage because they see a lot of fucking people spreading misinformation or looking for misinformation. Because we have this like baked in skeptical mindset. We're very entitled. We're very selfish. We're very individualistic in America. And unfortunately, we don't really have a lot of, we don't have great education, great critical thinking. So it's a slam dunk. It's the easiest way to fucking generate income. So that's one thing. That's like the easiest reason for why people get involved in this, because there's like a built-in network. There's already a fucking built-in network of like fans that you can immediately latch onto and like, you know, become a micro-influencer. The other reason is because a lot of these, like the Disinformation Dozen, for example, they make money. They get clout. They find like a massive audience, and then they can sell additional supplements to that massive audience. So what that means is like, oftentimes a lot of these other people have alternative cures that they're shilling. If you notice, like most of these influencers have something to sell you, whether it's a t-shirt that's like a cultural signifier, or they will directly sell you alternative cures, like that famous doctor in Florida, the holistic medicine guy, is shilling a bunch of different supplements like zinc and all this other shit on his website. A lot of these other like alternative medicine people are selling you different things to make money. So it all still goes back to the interest to make money.
State with the lowest vaccination rate in the nation, and at the time of this rally, every ICU bed here was full. His timid suggestion his supporters should get the shot was met with jeers.
And you know what? I believe totally in your freedoms. I do. You got to do what you have to do. But I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccines. But no, that's okay. That's all right. You got your freedoms, but I happen to take the vaccine. If it doesn't work, you'll be the first to know.
Okay?
Trump got the vaccine, though.
Yeah, they keep saying that. I don't know that. I mean, I'm not fully convinced of that.
You don't think Trump got it?
I don't think he did.
Yeah.
I really don't.
The chance of you dying from COVID is something like 1%, and only 0.00001% of people who got the vaccine die. Why not take the chance with the vaccine? Even fucking less than that, but yeah.
In so many people's minds.
That's what I've said this a million times over. You make dice rolls every time you fucking walk out of your apartment and get in a goddamn car. A significantly higher chance of dying when you're driving over to get the fucking vaccine than actually dying from the vaccine or dying from COVID. So I don't understand why you would, roll the dice on nature rather than fucking scientific accomplishments when, like, it is literally anti-human. It's like against everything that we've done. You're a Luddite. You're basically saying like, yeah, I don't trust the scientific accomplishments. Like, you're already doing that though. You're doing that in every part of your life without recognizing it. I do not understand how you wouldn't do the dice roll here as well. You do that when you live in a fucking city, dog. Like, there's a reason why we have developed societal formations near large bodies of fucking water so we could ensure survival. And you're basically saying that is, I'd rather take the dice roll, live in a fucking cave, and keep trying to hunt and gather on my own. Hey, yo, fuck this wheel shit, dog. I don't know about this. I think I'm just gonna keep carrying everything on my own. I don't know about this wheel shit.
Many people who don't want to get the shot. This is a Republican-Democrat thing.
Oh, absolutely. We know, but I will tell you, I don't personally see that virus came over here on a donkey or on an elephant, and it's affecting everybody.
I watch Prophets of God and Newsmax and maybe a little Fox. That's about it. That's about it.
Right. That's where.
But I've kind of turned away from news. I don't want to listen to it. I want to listen to what God's saying.
Yeah, God, i.e. her fucking Facebook feed too. I mean, dude, I keep repeating myself in a lot of these videos that we watch, but I guess it bears repeating. But it's like, the irony is they're so skeptical of like the FDA and these authorities and science and all that stuff, and I can't fully fault them for it. Obviously, there's a lot to be skeptical of there, especially as it pertains to like capitalist profit motive interests that pharmaceutical corporations may or may not have, and the profound amount of influence they have over the government. But then they have no skepticism towards fucking Brett Weinstein and all these other snake oil salesmen. It's like, dude, you literally you're just like, nope, that's it. This guy knows the truth that everyone else is unaware of.
What he's fixing to do, that's all I'm concerned about. I think it is a time where God is separating the sheep from the goats.
What are you?
I am I'm a goat because I ain't a sheep. I'm not doing what they tell me to do. I'm fighting against it.
Yeah, dying of a preventable complication is actually God's will, inshallah.
And Donie Sullivan joins us now. Do you think the former president saying that he got the shot, although you said it was timid, nevertheless, he did say it. Do you think it convinced anyone?
No, it didn't seem like that, Anderson. I mean, and I think that is something that Trump knows. We know Trump likes to take credit for things, and he can, in many respects, take credit for the development of this vaccine. But he knows that so many in his base do not want to take this shot. It is a red line for them. And it's really remarkable to hear, you know, so many folks we've spoken to do not want to be, as that woman described it, a sheep. They don't want to take this vaccine. They view it as a political statement also.
Isn't goat, like, if you're so into like biblical interpretations, aren't goats literally most commonly fucking used as like the devil? That's why the devil looks like a goat. It's actually the sheep that's being herded to salvation, whereas the goats are like literally the devil. Like, how do you not fucking see that?
Almost. And some folks are so intent on not becoming part of this herd of sheep, they're going as far as taking medicine for horses. So it is a very troubling situation here. And as you heard from that public health official, Judy Smith, in our piece, some folks are only willing to take the shot once they see a family member or loved one really, really sick in hospital.
As far as I know, the goat only became Satan to turn Baphomet into something profane and heretic. In the book of Revelations, the sheep represent the people who go to heaven, LMAO. It doesn't matter. It's illogical, and it's also illogical even in the illogical systems that they supposedly believe in, okay? The best part about this process is that, like, they will build up a value system that is purely on nonsensical, ideological, cultural signifiers like, you know, loving God and all this other shit, right? And they don't even apply the same fucking symbolisms within their own perpetrated ideological system that they've crafted. Like, they're breaking the rules that they themselves have created. Unlike myself, who never breaks the rules and always runs an ad at the top of the hour. That's right. At the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break. If you'd like to no longer see the ads, if you want an ad-free broadcasting experience, you can subscribe. You can do that for $5, or you can do that for free by using your Twitch Prime here rather than anywhere else. That is, of course, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can steal from someone else and connect it to your Twitch account.